you would expect from Walmart, this level of packaging. I think this to me feels like what I would expect would come from like DHgate or Temu or something. Is it a fake? Is it not? Why would Walmart, in my mind, dice with potentially getting sued by Hermes for launching a short-run series of bags that some of us would call fake?
This might be the craziest backstab the fashion game's ever seen. No lie. Rumors are flying that Hermès, yes, that mess, allegedly slapped the Birkin name on bags sold straight through Walmart. Let that sit for a second. The same Birkin that's been worshipped as the queen of high-end luxury? Out here looking like clearance aisle material? But it gets even wilder. Jane Birkin's own daughter, Charlotte Gainsbourg, is now reportedly taking legal action. Why? Because her mama's name wasn't just borrowed. It got dragged into a full-blown fashion meltdown. This isn't some knockoff drama. This is legacy theft. Straight up. A brand that built its rep on exclusivity and class now allegedly turned its back on everything it stood for. A billion-dollar name clowned like a cheap gag. Loyalty? Gone. Trust? Cracked. And luxury? Turned into a punchline.
Farms has workshops in France, and most bags are made by a single artisan. So go ahead and buy your DHgate bag, whatever bag, and see how it holds up over the years. Trust me, Hermes is not concerned.
If this turns out to be real, and let's be honest, way too many puzzle pieces are clicking into place, then we're not just looking at a scandal. This is a full-on luxury industry identity meltdown. And you thought it couldn't get any messier? Think again. People aren't even whispering anymore. They're yelling about a shady behind-the-scenes deal. Word is, Hermès allegedly had a stash of legit Birkin bags. Not fakes, not dupes, but real leather, real craftsmanship. That just didn't pass the boutique perfect test. So what did they allegedly do? Burn them like before? Nah, this time they flipped the script. Sources say they repackaged these bags under third-party brand names and shipped them out. And guess where they landed? Walmart. Yup, Walmart became the quiet drop zone for these not quite perfect Birkins. Same iconic shapes, same hardware that screams Hermès, but the stitching just off enough to raise major red flags. Now folks online are connecting the dots. And fast. It's looking like Hermès allegedly wanted to clear inventory on the low, while Walmart grabbed the chance to catch some viral fashion heat. Both sides thought they had a clean play, but they didn't count on the internet going full detective mode. And they definitely didn't count on Charlotte Gainsbourg jumping in fists first. This ain't just about handbags anymore. This is about her mother's name. Her mom is the Birkin. That bag is her legacy. And now, Charlotte's making it clear. She's not letting anyone play with that legend. Imagine waking up and finding out the legendary bag your mom helped turn into a fashion icon is allegedly being sold at Walmart, right next to joke mugs and budget totes. That's not just disrespectful, that's a straight-up slap in the face. Honestly, who wouldn't be furious? Charlotte's doing what anyone with pride would do, drawing a bold line and saying, "You don't get to flip my mom's legacy for a fast buck."
None of the brands these creators mention, Louis Vuitton, Prada, Chanel, especially Hermes, need to go to China for production. And here is why. Labels like Made in France and Made in Italy comes with strict restrictions. And brands at that level don't risk compromising that. It's just not worth it.
Let's be real. This ain't even about fashion anymore. This is about respect, legacy, and calling out a brand that might have gone way too far chasing profit. This isn't just purse drama. It's about using Jane Birkin's name to sell a fantasy that was never meant to exist. And Charlotte? She's not just allegedly coming for Walmart. She's sending warning shots straight through the fashion industry. She's standing tall saying, "Stop treating legacy like it's some disposable junk. Stop turning real art into fast fashion trash." This was never what the Birkin stood for. And guess who lit the fire? Not lawyers. Not fashion insiders. It was the internet detectives. TikTok sleuths and Reddit truth hunters went crazy with this one. They broke it down like pros. Side-by-side bag comparisons, zoom-ins on stitchwork, Serial tag placements, even international shipping receipts. They tracked supplier codes from Hermes straight to Walmart sellers. This ain't some made-up fan theory. It's real internet hustle that cracked the whole thing open. Too many coincidences. Too many exact matches. And they all trace back to Hermes subcontractors. It's giving. We got caught, and now we're shook. The wildest part? The internet beat every luxury media outlet to the punch. That's the game in 2025. There's no hiding behind polished press releases anymore. People will find the receipts, and when they do, no PR wizardry can save you. You know what hits harder than a fake denial? Straight up silence. And Hermes? Dead quiet. No statement, no press release, no legal shots at Walmart, not even a whisper from the CEO. And that silence? It's screaming. 'Cause when you're really innocent, you talk. You defend your name. You stand on your legacy. But when you're cornered, or worse, exposed, you go ghost. And that's exactly what Hermes seems to be doing. They really thought this could sneak past the public eye. Like no one would ever connect their name to Walmart. Please! They thought luxury buyers would never believe it. But guess what? The damage is already done. And that silence from Hermes, it ain't just shady, it's a whole siren going off. Something clearly went sideways behind the scenes. And now they're shook. This thing's about to explode. And here's where it flips into full-on thriller mode. Word on the street is someone inside Hermes may have spilled the whole thing. There's a quiet rumor that a former logistics manager, who allegedly got fired earlier this year, was the one who first flagged some serious inventory weirdness. Supposedly, they caught shipments going to random US distributors that had nothing to do with luxury retail. And guess who kept popping up in those shady trails? Walmart vendors! Allegedly, this insider saw what was happening, tried to raise a red flag, and got pushed out real quick. And now, that same source is believed to be behind those leaked documents showing unsold Birkins being rerouted through back channels. This ain't just a mess, it's sounding orchestrated. Like they really thought they could bury it all under NDAs and ghost companies. But if this whistleblower steps forward, it's a wrap. That turns all these rumors into a full-blown cover-up. And the folks who feel it hardest? The real high-end clients. Yeah, those wealthy buyers who waited years on a list, played the loyalty game, spent thousands on scarves and shoes, just to get one call about a Birkin. And now, they're waking up to find out that same exclusive bag may have been dropped in bulk, right behind their backs. That's not just scandalous, it's disrespectful. That Hermes 5 IP waitlist used to feel like a sacred ritual in the fashion world, but now it's looking like a straight-up scam. If they really did white label actual Birkins and sneak them into mass retail, then what was all that waiting for? Were they just playing favorites up front while secretly dumping bags in the back to chase extra sales? It's giving betrayal vibes. Looks like they might have ditched their loyal luxury clients to quietly build a whole new customer base behind the scenes. And that exclusivity they sold us? It was never just about low supply. It was about trust. Now it feels like we've all been playing high stakes in a rigged casino, and people online aren't holding back. One user even posted, "Why did I drop $40,000 on pre-spend if Walmart bagged the same Birkin for $8,000? That's not just price difference, it's a slap in the face. Folks are realizing the luxury fantasy might have just been smoke and mirrors.
A lot of requests, do Hermes next. And that's why we're here in the Highland Park Mall.
In Italy. Made in China. Or maybe made in Chile. Oh yeah, that should be a thing, by the way. I have spent over $100,000 of my own money dissecting luxury bags, cutting them open, analyzing every stitch, every layer. Why? Because I had to know what.
And honestly, folks have every reason to be mad. That so-called wait list? Probably never sacred to begin with. Just clever marketing wrapped in smoke and mirrors. And now, the curtain's been yanked all the way back. Here's the part no one's saying out loud. But trust, it's happening behind the scenes. Stylists are scrubbing Birkins off celeb pages fast. Posts gone, no explanations. Influencers who used to flex those bags in every shot, quietly archiving their feeds. Celebs who used to brag about owning 10 or more, total silence. Stylists who couldn't stop name-dropping Hermes, poof, radio silent. Why? 'Cause that bag's carrying heat now. If the white labeling rumors are true, and let's be real, it's all lining up. No one in the spotlight wants to be seen flashing what might be the fashion world's biggest alleged hustle. And this goes way beyond fashion. It's about reputation. Nobody wants to be caught flexing a luxury piece that might have been dropped next to a George Foreman grill on rollback at Walmart. The whole Birkin mystique? It's falling apart, fast. We're watching a real-time exit. People bailing hard. The Birkin isn't just losing shine, it's starting to look like a straight-up relic built on a fake narrative. Now let's ask the question everybody's dodging. Did Walmart know? Because let's not act like they just accidentally ended up selling bags that suspiciously looked like $25,000 icons. Come on now, this is Walmart, a company that tracks shelf space by the inch. You really think they didn't know what was landing in their inventory? Please. What does make sense? Walmart saw an opportunity, a chance to ride the luxury wave without the price tag, and they took it. And if even a piece of this was done in coordination with Hermes, whew, that's next level. This is major. We're talking straight up corporate collusion level drama. Luxury leftovers dressed up as budget fashion wins. That's wild. They didn't even have to slap the Birkin name on it. Everyone already felt the energy. The styling, the promos, the placements online, way too specific to be random. This wasn't some oops in inventory, it was a calculated play. And now, with a lawsuit allegedly on the horizon, Walmart's gone completely silent. No press run, no statement, nothing. And that kind of silence, it hits louder than any weak denial. 'Cause when you're innocent, you talk. But when you're caught, you vanish. For years, Birkins weren't just bags. They were treated like assets. Folks flipped them like stocks or property. Whole resale empires were built on the idea that Birkins would never lose value. But now, the panic is real. I'm seeing private resale chats where Birkins are getting slashed 40%. 40. Sellers begging folks to buy fast before the rumors get worse. That resale bubble? It's popping right in front of us. And it's not just about money anymore. It's about people realizing the luxury dream they bought into might have been one big setup.
I need you people to wake up and critically think and stop believing this shit that you see on TikTok, okay?
You mean to tell me you believe that this man is making your Birkins in China? If he's a Birkin artisan, then I'm an astronaut.
The second that Walmart connection started blowing up, the whole Birkin fantasy started crumbling. If there's even a chance Hermes quietly flooded the market with white-labeled bags, then let's keep it real. Your resale investment ain't rare, it ain't elite. It's just pricey leather with a good marketing story. And honestly, I don't feel bad. The resale game was built on smoke, hype, and straight-up manipulation. Now that the pyramid's collapsing, the folks who sat at the top are finally getting a taste of that same confusion and regret they used to dish out. They got played, plain and simple. And let's be honest, this ain't the end. It's just the kickoff. If Hermes, the so-called god tier of luxury, allegedly folded for a quick cash grab, who's next? Let's not pretend this was some rare accident. Gucci's already been called out for heavy outsourcing. Louis Vuitton's been flamed for recycling designs and inflating production like it's nothing. So if Hermes can allegedly sell out the dream just for a bag of money, then what's really going on behind those other logos? Let's be real. This scandal just kicked the vault doors wide open. And the luxury world? They were praying it stayed shut. Now that Hermes is allegedly in the hot seat, every major brand is feeling the pressure. Buyers are getting bold, asking questions, demanding receipts, tracking materials, and pulling back the curtain on who's really profiting from all this luxury talk. That 10K tote might just be a $300 bag with a logo tax? The industry is panicking. Stylists are scrambling, resellers are disappearing, and brand reps are dodging questions like their careers are on the line. Because truth is, they probably are. This ain't just about Hermes anymore. This is about trust across the entire luxury game. And once that trust breaks, it spreads like wildfire. What we're seeing could be the biggest exposure in fashion history. The illusion of prestige, exclusivity, and high worth, it's slipping fast. Now buyers aren't just shopping, they're investigating. People are pulling out magnifiers, comparing stitch lines, breaking down brand contracts, and decoding who's really behind those limited edition labels. Because once folks realize luxury might have just been smoke and mirrors hiding behind 5-figure price tags, the whole industry flips upside down. And for the brands that can't back up those prices with proof, respect, and true exclusivity, time's up. This isn't just a fashion crisis. It's a full-blown reckoning. Even Dior's name is getting dragged into whispers. Talk of third-party overlaps and manufacturing shortcuts. People are out here saying, "Made in China? I can cop that for $12. And just like that, the luxury mask slips. Once the illusion breaks, there's no going back. This era of blind buying, it's over. This Birkin scandal, it's just the spark. And the rest of the luxury world is sitting in gasoline. Behind closed doors, brands are scrambling, triple-checking supply chains, locking down vendor contracts, wiping trails. Why? Because they know they're next on the chopping block. And if more insiders start leaking, if Reddit sleuths keep digging like they have been, we might be watching the full collapse of the luxury illusion. Because once folks realize they've been dropping 5 figures on something that might have been boxed up next to frozen peas, that illusion shatters quick. This ain't just about Hermes anymore. It runs deeper. It's a sign of a much bigger rot inside the luxury machine. White labeling, secret side deals, mass outsourcing, everything they never wanted you to see. Why keep it hidden? Simple. Lies make money. When brands blur the lines, profits skyrocket. But now, this scandal might flip the whole industry on its head. People are finally asking the real questions. Like, where are these designer bags really made? Does exclusivity still mean anything? Has true craftsmanship been traded in for clout and clicks? Honestly, this wake-up call was way overdue. Fashion's been floating on illusions for too long, and now, that curtain's being ripped wide open. And at the heart of it all, not just Hermes, not just Walmart, Birkin, a name that used to stand for class, restraint, and timeless luxury, now tangled in full-blown scandal. Charlotte Gainsbourg stepping in. That's bigger than a lawsuit. It's a line in the sand. She's out here protecting a legacy that should have never been touched. She's saying, enough is enough. And Hermes, they may have just crossed a line they can't uncross. The Birkin, once the crown jewel, is now the epicenter of a fashion earthquake. If you felt that heat, smash that like, drop a comment, share this everywhere, and subscribe, because this ride, it's far from over. Sound off below. Did you fall for the Birkin illusion? See y'all in the next one.